So what I want to do is reach up, which two hands or one hand, you'll probably do one hand, or even the other hand not as far, and so I'm not pushing it. But the idea of the reaching up is to feel that it's not just like raising my hand in class, and it's not even stretching my arm up, it's lengthening my whole spine. So I kind of feel like my bottom goes down, like, and my upper goes up, so lengthening something, right? So that's the kind of experience I want to have of feeling like I'm sat up very tall or stood up very tall if I'm standing here. And then I release a bit, and then I'll do the same thing to a slight diagonal. And this will be more stretching one side, compressing the other just a little bit with the same lengthening idea. Then I'll release a bit, and then I'll, do it to the other side, either hand that I'm stretching. Looks like you're hesitating asking a question in class. Yes, shy, Mr. Barnes, you have a question? Um, and I'm going to do this in profile to you, hopefully fairly precise profile, something like that. I'll do it the way I'm used to doing it too, but I want to really work on not coming out of profile or coming out of profile. See, I want to have a real sense of the plane that I'm in on this, so I'm not straining the spine or the back. And I don't think you were twisting. I'm just, since we're on the topic, it's really nice to make sure with that we keep in the plane. Um, when I do it standing, it's much easier to get the sense of the bottom of the spine is continually dropping, which doesn't mean it arrives any further, but right? So as an example, this hat, which is on my bench, is continually dropping because it's not on the earth. It's arrested because there's something holding it. But obviously, if the bench disappeared, it wouldn't hesitate, right? So when I say the spine is continually dropping, I don't mean I'm continually squatting, but I have that impetus, I don't know, that urge, that intention, that uh, preference for down, and then I'm installing this upward preference or intention or action. And that's why I say lengthening the spine, because I have two things going into, just going back to the hat. If I take two parts of it and I move them in different directions, it's lengthened or straightened or, you know, and that's what I'm looking to do with my back. It's pretty easy to do this and think this is the upward exercise, but then everything's kind of up. Maybe my heels come up, my knees straighten, my butt tightens, my right, and so I'm not opening up the joints in the spine. So a concomitant down and up lengthening is what I want, and that's a little bit easier to feel and imagine and achieve standing because, of course, the down is literally arrested here. So it's more of what I'm imagining than what I'm actually getting because I am sat here. So maybe I press into the chair a tiny bit, but that's kind of hard to really expect. But I still have it in my mind, down at the bottom, up at the top, which means there's space in the middle. From a philosophical point of view, up at the top, down at the bottom, space in the middle, right? So we're doing an exercise that makes space for our humanity, for our heart, as opposed to folding, twisting, collapsing, compressing, or just failing to give space. So one of the reasons that's one of the first exercises we do is create space for humanity, right? Yeah, it's harder to do it for other people, but you're humanity too, so start there. Yeah,